Peace, y'all. Johnny Fastlane here. So, Common says that he got molested when he was 9 years old. And 50 Cent gets a new boo. Plus, Logic gets upset. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, so yesterday Common released a memoir, right? This is his second book, right? And he's basically talking about like his childhood and everything in it. And he talks about how when he was 9 years old that he got molested, right? So this is like a crazy situation because he said that he didn't even like remember the situation or anything up until like maybe 2 years ago, I guess. So he was filming The Tale, which is a movie that he did with like Laura Dern, came out last year, like 2018, right? So during the, while they were reading lines and everything for the movie, Common stops like in the middle of reading lines and he's like, yo, Laura, I think I was abused, right? This is all according to Common, right? And then she is like, what are you talking about? And then he's like, I think I was abused as a child, right? So then in the memoir, he goes on to like explain like his experience and like what happened. He says that he was 9 years old, that he used to go like on family trips and stuff to like Cleveland, Ohio, with like his god brother and his mom and his stepdad and, his cousins and everybody like that. And that, I guess like the sleeping arrangements were such as that. So like he was sleeping in the same bed as like one of his other cousins or whatever like that. He never really said like who the person was. He never said like, yo, my cousin, blah, blah, blah. In the memoir, he just calls the person Brandon, which is, obviously a fake name. But he's like, yeah, yo, Brandon, I remember him like touching me and I was trying to tell him to stop. Then he said that, Brandon, then pulled down his pants and he remembers telling Brandon like, no, no, no. And that he basically, didn't want, anything to do with what Brandon wanted to do. But Brandon, I guess pulled down his pants and molested him. And then he says in the memoir that then Brandon wanted him to, do something to him. Like he wanted Common to perform like oral, on him or something like that, which is just like crazy, right? This is everything that Common is saying, I guess that he just kind of like suppressed this memory. He, didn't really ever think about it, in his childhood. I guess maybe that only happened like one time. He didn't talk about how, more and more things happened. It was just like a one-time thing, I guess. And then I guess he forgot, but he was 9 years old. But I don't know, if something, you 9 years old or something like that happens, you would remember, but whatever. So I guess he was trying to bury that, experience because obviously he knows that it was like a negative thing. But, shout out to Common for being strong enough to tell us his story. And, we'll see how this changes things, I guess. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Hey, 50 got a new boo. 40 got a new boo. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey. You know what I'm saying? They sitting there, they looking good. You see he got on the white blazer. They sitting there looking out the window. Shorty look good. You can't really see her face or nothing like that. But, she looking like very classy, very, debonair, if you will. You know what I'm saying? This is funny though, because like in the caption of this picture, 50 is like, yo, basically, I'm just paraphrasing here, but he was basically saying like, if her mental matches my mental, then we can move forward together, right? So everybody this was on Instagram that he posted this picture up, and everybody was like, yo, 50 got a new shorty, pop, whatever. She ain't no Instagram thought, they was just like jumping out the window with it already, right? And then he had to drop another picture to clear up the rumors and let people know, like, this is just a photo shoot, bro. Like, he posted another picture. He's like, shorty all staring into my eyes like she about to get pregnant or something. I had to let her know that this was just a photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? So that's not his new boo. Just a model taking some pictures with him. But honestly, they do look good together. And then I don't know what the photo shoot is for, but 50 sitting there chilling, smoking cigars and shit. Like, fuck out of here, nigga. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he on his Meek Mill shit right now. He put the tie on, he put the suit on. He like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Let me just dress it up a little bit. You know what I mean? This is dope, man. 50 is always like entertaining as fuck, especially like on social media. And I think maybe he even does, I don't know what he's doing a photo shoot for, but he could just be doing a photo shoot just to be putting up pictures on Instagram, which is like still dope. You know what I'm saying? You get you a photographer, you put on a suit jacket, you in your own crib. I mean, it don't take much to put together a photo shoot. So, but I think it's fire, yo. Let me know what y'all think about this. Just want to take a moment to say fuck sample clearance, fuck clearing samples, fuck people taking all the producers' money for not doing shit, and fuck the companies that say no just cuz. This is hip hop. I'm tired of replaying shit. Fuck the money. This is why mixtapes were so good, right? So that's Logic, right? And he's talking straight facts, right? So Logic, I guess, you know, he's trying to do an album. He's trying to clear some samples, and he's running into a little bit of you know, roadblocks, and he's frustrated about it, yo. And this is like so true. And I've like heard this like million times and times and times again, right? Hip hop, you know, it started, you know, and we talked about this whole thing yesterday, how it started with like house music and break beats and stuff like that. That there would be like a small, maybe like an 8-bar, you know, part of the song that was just like all pretty much drums and maybe like a saxophone in the back, like yeah, or something like that. And that the reason why hip hop even started is because, you know, a DJ, you know, specifically DJ Kool Herc would put on just that 8-bar part right there, but that part is maybe like 30 seconds long, but he would have 2 of the same exact records. He would play the 8-bar part and then switch it over to this 8-bar part seamlessly. So all you heard was just that same beat over and over again. He would do it here, switch it over to that. Cue it up again. Once that was done, switch it over to that. And he'd be playing that same part for like 5 minutes long. That's like your first hip hop beat. That's your first hip hop producer, right? So hip hop comes from using something that was meant for something else and then repurposing it. Hip hop comes from sampling, right? So I mean, we've been sampling stuff since the beginning of time, right? So Hard Not Life, you know, Jay-Z took a Little Orphan Annie beat. You know, Every Step I Take, Puffy took Sting, you know, when he was, you know, dedicating that song to Biggie. I mean, even now, like, people still sample stuff. Now in hip-hop today, people sampling like a lot of old 3 6 Mafia stuff, which is crazy, right? That's how old 3 6 Mafia is now, but that's like a whole different thing, right? So, you know, Logic is just talking about sampling and how, you know, sometimes you are married to a song or married to a beat or an idea or a flow of a way that a song goes, right? But some of these people, they don't mess with hip hop, you know, maybe they're racist, maybe they just have a negative, you know, stigma of what hip hop is. Maybe they don't want no niggers on their songs or whatever like that. But like a producer, he might take a old track from, I don't know, Cher or something like that, you know, produce it, make it hip hop, you know, the beat is fire, a little sample, you hear Cher's voice in the background, whatever. They take it to Cher and she's like, nah, I ain't dealing with no Kodak Black, and will say no just because, right? And I'm not saying that Cher did that, and I'm sure Cher, you know, clears samples and stuff like that, but I'm just using her as an example, right? So, you know, then the producer who put in all that work for that beat, you know, doesn't even get that beat out, doesn't even get to shine, right? Doesn't even, you know, get recognized by the record label and other hip hop artists that he is a dope ass producer, because that song never came out because they could never clear the sample, right? So now, not only that, but then, you know, a Logic would have to pick another song, which maybe doesn't have like the same effect or the same, you know, oomph to whatever beat that is when you're talking about the subject that you was talking about before, you know? So it just messes up everything all around. And then he even went on to say, he put like a long ass paragraph out. Yo, I am not reading that long ass shit, yo. I don't know why rappers do this, man. Come out with a video, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, to paraphrase it, basically what he just went on to say was that even if like the record label clears the sample, right? Even if that old artist from the 1960s or whatever says, fine, you know, these dudes can use my stuff, what they want is so much money because that rapper used the sample that the producer gets nothing, the artist doesn't really get anything, at least for that one song. But thank God the artist has other songs. If this is a brand new producer though, and this is like one of his first offerings to hip hop, he ain't making nothing off of his first couple beats because their sample, they're the people that originally own the sample, whatever publishing company or whoever, they're raping the hip hop artist and taking pretty much like 90% of the proceeds of that song. You know what I'm saying? So Logic was just like expressing his frustration about that, and really, man, it's all straight facts, man. Like, these record labels are wilding out. So he says that there should be some kind of like loophole. Like, if you can't get in contact with an artist for 20 years, then if I want to sample their song and come out with the song, I should be able to. You know, like if nobody can contact them, that doesn't mean that it should hold up the project, the song, the beat, or whatever it is. I think that what he's saying is that after a certain time, there should be a statute of limitations so that I can still drop this song, because that's ridiculous. And I agree, man. So I don't think like one rapper's, you know, rant on Twitter or Instagram is gonna change policy, but they should change policy. Let me know what y'all think about all this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me at Johnny Fastlin on everything. That's Instagram and Twitter, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.